Being the thinnest foldable phone in the world really that important, or would you rather have better battery life and real improvements? That's the question people are starting to ask about Samsung's upcoming Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Galaxy Z Flip 7. A few weeks ago, there were whispers that the Galaxy Z Fold 7 could be thinner than anything we've ever seen before. Some rumors even said it might beat the current record holder, the Oppo Find 5. But now, with new leaked CAD files that are believed to be accurate, we finally have a clear picture, and it turns out Samsung is not going after the thinnest ever crown this time. Let's start with the Galaxy Z Fold 7. According to the leaked files, the Fold 7 measures 4.5 millimeters in thickness when unfolded. When folded, it becomes 9 millimeters thick. To give you some perspective, the Oppo Find 5 is 8.9 millimeters thick when folded, making it just slightly thinner than Samsung's latest. That means the Fold 7 misses the title by only 0.1 millimeter, which honestly won't be noticeable to most users. The phone's full unfolded dimensions are 158.43 by 143.14 by 4.5 millimeters. It also features a triple camera setup on the back, with each lens having its own metal ring placed on a vertical island. So from the design point of view, it still keeps that high-end look Samsung foldables are known for. Now let's talk about the Galaxy Z Flip 7. If you were hoping for a slimmer, sleeker design this year, you might be disappointed. The Flip 7 is 6.9 millimeters thick when opened, which is exactly the same as the Galaxy Z Flip 6. The overall size, based on the files, is 166.61 by 75.3 by 6.8 millimeters. When you include the camera bump, the thickest point goes up to 9.17 millimeters. So there's no change in the Flip's thickness this time around, but Samsung has made a more meaningful upgrade elsewhere. The Galaxy Z Flip 7 is expected to come with a 4,300 mAh battery, which is 300 mAh more than the 4,000 mAh battery in the Galaxy Z Flip 6. That may not sound like a huge jump, but in foldable phones where space is always tight, this is a solid improvement. Instead of focusing on making the phone thinner, Samsung chose to give users longer battery life, and that's something most people will feel every single day. Whether you're watching videos, taking photos, or just browsing the web, that extra battery capacity can make a real difference. It shows that Samsung is trying to balance form and function instead of just chasing record-breaking designs. Have you ever seen a brand launch a new phone that looks almost exactly like the last one and still manage to surprise everyone? That's exactly what Samsung is doing with the Galaxy M36, which is now officially confirmed to launch in India on June 27th. The phone is a follow-up to the Galaxy M35, and while it doesn't bring big changes to performance or camera, there's one little design choice that has got people talking. Before we get to that, let's look at what Samsung is actually offering this time. First, Samsung says the Galaxy M36 will come in 3 colors: velvet black, serene green, and orange haze. Visually, the phone is thinner now, with a thickness of just 7.7 millimeters, which makes it about 15% slimmer than the Galaxy M35. That's a nice change for people who didn't like how bulky the last model felt. But inside, things are staying pretty much the same. The Galaxy M36 will have the same Exynos 1380 processor that was used in the M35. So, if you were expecting a major speed boost or new features, you might be a little disappointed. When it comes to cameras, Samsung is sticking with what worked before. The phone still features a triple camera setup with a 50 megapixels main sensor, an 8 megapixels ultra-wide lens, and a 2 megapixels macro camera. And on the front, there's the same 13 megapixels selfie camera as the M35. No changes there either. But one of the biggest questions people have is about the battery. The Galaxy M35 came with a massive 6,000 mAh battery, and many fans are hoping that Samsung will at least match that, if not go even bigger. So far, Samsung hasn't confirmed the battery size for the M36, which leaves us waiting to see if they've managed to fit that large of a battery into the slimmer frame. Now, here's the part that's causing a bit of debate: the display. Samsung has changed the front camera cutout from the Infinity U style, which is basically a hole punch, to an Infinity U shape, which looks like a small U at the top center. Some people think this makes the phone look outdated, while others don't really care because the screen quality is still the same. The panel is protected with Gorilla Glass Victus Plus, so you're still getting strong protection, even if the look has changed a bit. As for the price, Samsung hasn't given us exact numbers yet, but if they follow the same path as last year's model, the M36 will likely start at around 20,000 Indian rupees, which is roughly 230 United States dollars or 200 euros. The top model may go up to 24,500 Indian rupees or around 280 United States dollars. It will be available for purchase through Amazon India and Samsung's official website. Is Samsung about to launch the thinnest foldable phone we've ever seen? Well, based on new renders of the Galaxy Z Fold 7 shared by OnLeaks and Android headlines, that might actually be true. Just by looking at the images, it's clear Samsung is going for a sleeker, thinner design this time around. For some context, last year's Galaxy Z Fold 6 was about 12.1 millimeters thick when folded and 5.6 millimeters when unfolded. Now, leaks suggest that the Galaxy Z Fold 7 will be just 3.9 millimeters thin when unfolded, which is a huge 30% reduction in thickness. That's thinner than many tablets and even some smartphones, but thinner doesn't always mean better, because as you slim down the body, some trade-offs show up, like the camera bump. According to these renders, the triple camera system on the back now sticks out even more than before. This is similar to what we've seen from other foldable makers like OnePlus and Google, where a better camera setup comes with a more noticeable camera bump, but Samsung seems to be balancing that by also making the phone wider than before, possibly by over 10 millimeters compared to the Galaxy Z Fold 6. This added width could make typing, multitasking, and watching videos on the internal screen feel more natural. Speaking of the display, when unfolded, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is expected to offer a 7-inch dynamic AMOLED display with a resolution of 1856 by 2160 pixels and a refresh rate of 120 Hz. On the outside, the cover screen will reportedly be 6.3 inches, also dynamic AMOLED, with a resolution of 968 by 2376 pixels and the same 120 Hz refresh rate. To protect the outer screen, Samsung may be using Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2, which helps prevent scratches and minor drops. Now let's talk about performance. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 is expected to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy processor built using the 3nm process, which means better energy efficiency and faster speeds compared to older chips. Alongside this, the device may come with 12 GB of LPDDR5X random access memory and 256 GB of UFS 4.0 internal storage, giving users fast loading and smooth multitasking. It will likely run Android 15 right out of the box, offering the latest features and software optimizations. Powering all this will be a 4,400 mAh battery,